Yes, absolutely. This is the most important fight of my career. It's silly not to think that way and not to come prepare that for that. It's the fight that I lost against, and for whatever excuse can be given on both sides, I lost. So yes, it's the most important fight. Taking it as such and training as such.
And also, there was so many great Cuban heavyweights. There was Teofilo Stevenson, I think, won 2 gold medals. These guys weren't allowed to become heavyweight champion in the pros. Does that matter to you to be that first great Cuban fighter that gets it done at heavyweight in the professional ranks?
Que obviamente muchos pesos completos de Cuba no han podido hacer lo que tú has hecho, es pelear en profesional. Que si eso para ti es algo importante, que tú vas a poder de nuevo en noviembre 23 tener el chance de ser el primer cubano peso completo campeón.
Claro, para mí fue un orgullo haber nacido, haber visto todos esos pesos completos y nada, ese es mi orgullo y voy a lograrlo.
100%. It's very, very, very proud to be Cuban and now Cuban American, and he's very proud to have been able to witness some of those big fights and witness some of the training and that those great fighters, and his more Savone era than Stevenson, but. Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be very exciting to win the championship and become the first Cuban heavyweight champion.
Leonard, we know, well, we've heard Wilder Fury contract is signed. If Luis pulls it off, is there going to be a trilogy? What's the rematch?
Man, the sole focus is for Deontay Wilder and Ortiz to fight on the 23rd. Ortiz has the opportunity to fuck this whole thing up. What better situation to be in? What better situation to be? All he got to do is go out there and focus for 12 rounds and find a way to win a big-ass fight. If he wins the fight, he fucks the whole thing up.
Luis, would you give him a trilogy if he wins?
Si tú ganas, le das una revancha a Wilder.
Para pelear.
100%. He gave me the fight that it's not even to be spoken of. Yes, absolutely.
But he's put himself in the position that he has options. And what better position to be the man in the heavyweight division?
Luis, does Deontay, has he improved at all? Does he have enough now in his skill set to do anything that he hasn't done before other than that right hand?
Que si tú has visto en lo que tú has visto de Deontay, que si tú crees que él ha mejorado desde que peleó contigo, que si tú crees que él va a poder mejorar y que si nada más es la derecha que él tiene, que tú crees de eso.
Pues los boxeadores pueden hacer todo lo que quieran en los entrenamientos, pero cuando llega la pelea todo se dificulta. Y el que no tenga un segundo plan tan marcado, yo tengo 7.
He says that, in the videos that you can watch and in the stuff that you see him putting out there, yes, he does look improved as a fighter, and I would agree. But he still lacks the experience of actually taking it from a training facility into a fight, where someone else is trying to take your head off, and it's not quite as simple as just in a controlled gym environment. So he's got to have a plan B and C, and if he doesn't, then that's going to be the error. He's got plan A through Z. So it's who knows.
I guess my question is, has he ever had a plan B or C?
Luis or Wilder?
No.
Que si tú piensas que Wilder en algún tiempo ha tenido un plan B o C, o siempre para él es el plan A a la derecha.
Supuestamente dice que tiene un plan B. Ahora.
No, en general.
En general, no he hecho ver. Yo soy un boxeador que sube a Rivertín a tratar de buscarle los defectos contrarios.
He only started really watching Wilder when he announced the first fight with him, so he's not a fighter that really watches and studies and sees what the opponent is doing. From what he thinks, probably it's always plan A, which is just land that right hand. But he hasn't really studied him from his onset to now. So
What about Wilder's?
I have, though. Let me. Deontay Wilder is very much improved. Very much improved. Each and every fight, he's gotten better and better and better. He not only just has a right hand, he's learned how to do some other things as a professional, kind of tricky things you can watch in the fight. And with Ortiz's experience with being in there with him before, I'm sure he's picked up on that. Deontay asked for this fight for a reason, okay? Because he sees some things in the first fight that he could have took advantage of, and we know how it ended. And the same with Ortiz. Ortiz will be a much different fighter than he was in the first fight. And one of the most important things will be his conditioning. He'll be able to fight all night long, and we know he has a tremendous skill set. So it's going to be a great fight. Both guys have improved from their last fight. That's why this is going to be a great fight.
Luis, ¿qué piensas de la pelea de Andy Ruiz con Anthony Joshua? De la revancha.
Pienso que este momento de Andy Ruiz fortalecer su mente y demostrar quién es él.
He thinks that it's Andy Ruiz's time to really, step up and show up and show that it wasn't no fluke, and he should be able to do it as long as his mind's in the right place.
¿Cómo se acaba la pelea esa?
¿Cómo acaba esa pelea?
Knockout? ¿Crees que Andy lo logre otra vez?
No sé cómo pueda venir la mente de Joshua, que es boxeador, un boxeador con un fajador. No sé qué pueda pasar.
He's not 100% sure. Joshua is going to probably come to do a little more boxing and a little more leg work and not just come meet him in the middle of the ring. So that makes it a little bit of a tougher fight for Andy. But you never know between two punchers, and obviously Andy, he was not a huge puncher, is big enough to knock out Joshua. So anything can happen.
Yeah, good.
Luis over here. I just wondered, because you hurt him so badly in the fight in the first time, and he obviously hurt you because he got the knockout. I wonder if you think there's a possibility that there's going to be some tentativeness between the two of you guys at some point, or maybe for a while, because you know that each other can really do some damage against the other guy.
Que si tú piensas que como él obviamente te pudo hacer daño en el último asalto y que tú le pudiste hacer daño a él en el séptimo, que si tú piensas que en esta segunda pelea se van a estar en el medio del ring mirándose la mano y no van a tirar un piñazo los 12 rounds.
Eso no va a pasar. Eso no va a pasar.
On his part, no, that's not going to happen. He doesn't know how to fight that way. He can't answer Wilder's side of it, but on his side, no. So maybe he'll make a fight out of it all on his
Si él
own.
no tira, yo sí voy a tirar.
Right, because if he doesn't throw, he's damn sure going to throw. So it can only be a one-sided affair as far as he's concerned. If that happens.
And Dan, to add, to kind of touch on that a little, I think his confidence. He has much better confidence with knowing that you're in tip-top shape. You're in the best shape of your life. And again, with the skill set that he has, he can get started a little quicker. And knowing that I can do this all night long if he has to. I think that's a big difference.
Leonard, Deontay put this statement out about this rematch during Andy Ruiz Joshua fight week. Why did it take so long for BBC to announce this fight?
Oh, I can't answer that question. These guys are fighting on November 23rd, and it's a big-ass fight.
How does he feel about headlining his first pay-per-view?
¿Cómo te sientes peleando en tu primera pelea pay-per-view en main event?
No sé qué decir, pero yo me enfoco en la pelea, no en la televisión.
He doesn't really like focus too much on any of that or really what's happening, and I think the entire camera crew that's following us around for weeks, from now can testify to that he's not really like okay, let's get it done, but he's not like really. He's focused on his training. He's focused on the fight. He's focused on what we want to do. He's focused on that, and not really on the event, the magnitude, the this, the that. Maybe that'll come later. We've talked about this, so I can elaborate a little bit. Maybe it'll all come later after the fight, and he'll appreciate it a little more. Doesn't say he doesn't, but it's not at the top of the wow list for him right now.
How did you rate Deontay Wilder's power? Was he the hardest punch you've ever been in the ring with, amateur or pro?
Que si Deontay ha sido el que te ha dado más duro y que si de verdad la fuerza de él es real.
Encima del ring, Walter es pegador, no por gusto lleva años siendo campeón del mundo. Cualquiera arriba te saca de circulación. Y sí, con Walter decía que tener cuidado, es un boxeador que pega.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to be careful, against him, because you can't just fall asleep in front of him and think that you can just, take the shot. You got to be on your P's and Q's. And yeah, he's obviously the guy that's hit him the hardest, because he's probably been the only guy that's actually hit him. So. Yeah, so I mean the only way to really answer that question is on November 24th when it's all said and done. But for now, yeah, he's been the guy that was the one that beat him, and is the one that beat him by punching him. So he's got to say yes to that.
Same question, but about Deontay's speed and athleticism. Where did that stack up with all the fighters he's faced?
En el atletismo de Deontay y en la velocidad de Deontay, ¿cómo lo ve en contra los